Okay, just imagine this for a second. A court makes a decision about your safety, a decision that could literally be life or death. Now, what if that entire decision was based on a complete falsehood? Well, today, we're unpacking a legal petition that asks that exact question. We're getting right to the heart of what happens when the justice system gets the facts just completely wrong. So, right at the center of this whole thing is this, well, it's a tale of two stories, and they're polar opposites. In one corner, you've got the official record where the petitioner says, I went to the police, I asked for protection. But in the other corner, you have the state telling the court, nope, they never came to us at all. One of these is a lie, and as we're about to see, that lie has absolutely massive consequences. So, you might be wondering, why does this one disagreement matter so much? Well, because this isn't just a simple case of he said, she said. Not at all. We're talking about a fundamental right, a right that totally hinges on the court knowing what actually happened. The legal principle we're talking about here is, well, it's monumental. It's Article 21 of the Constitution. And you can think of this as the absolute bedrock, the right to life and personal liberty. This isn't just some abstract concept in a textbook. It means the state has an actual, active duty to protect you if you're facing a credible threat. So here's the bottom line. The petitioner's argument is super clear. Because the court bought the wrong story, the story that they never even went to the police, they were denied the protection they were entitled to. And the really scary part, every single day that goes by without that protection is a new violation of their most fundamental right. It's happening over and over again. Okay, so this brings us to the absolute core of the case. How do you solve a contradiction like this? Well, you do what any good investigator would do. You follow the evidence. You look at the official record to find the documented, undeniable truth. And honestly, the petitioner frames it perfectly. It all just boils down to this one very simple yes or no question. There's no middle ground, no gray area. Either I approached the police or I did not. The entire case hangs on that one answer.
And the answer, it turns out, is in a single document, Annexure P6. And let me tell you, this isn't just any piece of paper. This is the piece of evidence that changes everything.
See, this isn't just some random piece of paper. It's an official police diary entry. It's been logged, it's been numbered. That specific designation, 4045/S/SSP, that's not just jargon. That's what gives it authenticity, what gives it serious weight. And here's the most important part. This is the state's own record of the event. In this document, it shows a clear, official trail. Step 1, the complaint about the threat is received and logged. Step 2, it gets forwarded up the chain to a senior officer for action. And Step 3, the case is officially taken up to be examined. This isn't guesswork, it's the documented step-by-step journey of that complaint right through the police system. The proof is sitting right there, in their own file. All right, so with the facts now firmly established, by the state's own records, remember, we can zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. The much larger constitutional principle at stake. And it's this. If a court's original order was built on a lie, what does that mean for the order itself? Can it still stand? So the key legal concept to understand here is something called a factual premise. The best way to think of it is like the foundation of a house. It's a set of facts the court assumes is true, and it builds its entire decision right on top of that foundation. But what happens if that foundation is cracked? If the facts are just plain wrong? Well, the entire structure, the entire decision becomes totally unstable. And this is really the core of the petitioner's argument right here. They're saying that if an order is resting on an incorrect foundation of facts, the government can't just hide behind that broken order to deny someone protection. It just doesn't work that way. Now, let's be crystal clear about what the petitioner is arguing here. This is important. They're not asking the court to redo the whole case or re-examine all the old evidence. No. This is a very specific challenge. They're pointing out that the state's continued reliance on an order that's based on a false premise is causing a continuing injury. The harm is happening right now, today. And all of this leads to the final critical question for the court. A question that really is about what happens to justice when the facts are ignored. So what's the petitioner asking for right now? It's actually something very specific and focused. Limited interim relief. In plain English, that just means they want the court to grant them protection now, while the rest of the case gets sorted out. And their argument is simple. Make this decision based on the undeniable facts in the official record, not on that old, broken order. And that leaves us with this powerful, thought-provoking question for the court, and really, for all of us. When a fact is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt by the state's own records, does the state have a constitutional duty to accept it? To look at its own files and acknowledge the truth? It's a question that goes right to the heart of what justice is all about.